Hey there, I'm Gail Anderson. This is Mentoring Moments for Moms. I get on several times a week just talking about parenting, marriage, health, personal development, household management, and just want to give you guys a chance to connect with me as well as to connect with each other. You can write in questions during the scope, or if you want to email me, you can get that email in the profile. Hi there, good to see you, Danielle. Yesterday we talked about writing a tribute to your parents, and I shared about the experience for myself, how great it was for me to go through that process of writing a tribute. I wrote one to my mom, one to my dad, and one to my grandparents. Good morning, Lisa. Good to see you. For me, it was a great exercise just in showing appreciation, and also, if you're in that position where you have any baggage from growing up or issues with your parents, it is a very good exercise to help you roll over those things. And often we do that at the time that they pass from this world, but I just want to encourage you that it's much better to do it beforehand when they can appreciate it and hear it from you. So today I'm here with my husband, Kirby.
Hey everybody.
The health expert, of course. And we're following up on what we promised, talking a little bit about how to read nutrition labels. Now, I have to fess up to you in the first place that I am terrible about the details and about reading labels.
It's an ongoing challenge. Honey, what are you feeding me?
I am learning. I'm getting better at it. I get so enamored by what's on the front of the product that I don't read the back. Yes, you can.
Because if this is the one thing I want you to take away from this, I have been pounding this in for 6 years, and it's still, and we're all sucked into it. Forget everything else on the packaging. Front label, the boxes, all of the marketing stuff.
See somebody else. It is overwhelming.
It is. Forget everything on the packaging except what's in that little square on the back or the side that says nutrition facts and ingredients. Nothing else matters.
But here's the reason it happens. I'm in a hurry. I'm just picking up a few things. I picked up things that I picked up in the past and they've been fine. Well, but now we've changed our
and the marketers are good at it.
They are.
All natural, you know.
And if you all have kids and you are going to the store with them, that makes it a little bit more difficult. Although, let me share something here just on the side. There was one of the scopers who was watching me at some point in time who mentioned her way to get through the store with her kids. I guess they have cell phones or iTouches or whatever, and instead of bothering mom every minute for things they want to get, they just take pictures of the items and then they can discuss them at home so mom doesn't get interrupted so much. So enough of that. Yeah. But we should read the labels as we're shopping. Even if we haven't been in the habit of it, it's good to do that. So I just grabbed one of my jars of spaghetti sauce here, and I'm just kind of going to go through this. On the nutrition facts at the top, the first thing you'll see is the serving size. And that is really, really important. Ooh, I love the scavenger hunts in the store. Ooh, that sounds like fun. So the serving size means you need to watch how much you're actually eating. I mean, if you're eating 1 1/3 cups of spaghetti sauce on your meal, whatever you're having, then you're having 2.5 times what a serving is. So if you want to know, calories and all that information, then you have to be doing those serving sizes. I think in America, our serving sizes are way much bigger than they need to be, definitely. So the second thing you want to look at, you'll notice the calories and the calories versus calories from fat. So you don't want that percentage to be too much. In this, we've got 15 fat calories to 60 calories in a whole serving. So that's 25%. You certainly don't want to be over that.
No more than that.
Yeah, definitely not more than that. So that's an important thing to look at. The next thing would be under the proportion of carbs of sugar versus total carbs. So down here, you'll see the total carbs. That here shows 10 grams. And then down below, it shows you dietary fiber in grams and sugar in grams. So the sugar in here is 6 grams. Even though sugar is not listed as an ingredient, there is some naturally occurring sugar. So there's 6 grams of sugar to the 10 grams of carbohydrate. So that's 60% of those grams are from sugar. kind of a high percentage. The higher that percentage is, the closer you are to what we would call junk food, something that you probably don't want to be eating a lot of. And then what do you recommend as far as what they should look for in a serving? How much grams of sugar?
Well,
less than?
Yeah, it depends on, there's different kinds of sugars. So you might have something that's got a lot of fruit in it or things like that, and you're going to have some naturally occurring sugars. That's not the same thing as when you add sugars. You add
Absolutely.
refined table sugar, you're adding things like corn syrup or other syrups, and sugar shows up in a lot of different forms in the ingredients. But the basic rule of thumb is that 4 grams equals 1 teaspoon rather of sugar. So let me give you my favorite example, and that's just a 12-ounce can of soft drink. So you pick up a Coke or something like that. It's going to say, somewhere around 44 grams of sugar. So it doesn't sound too bad. Well, you divide that by 4, that's 11 teaspoons of sugar in that 12-ounce can of soda. Can you imagine taking 11 teaspoons and putting on or in anything that you're consuming?
How about in your coffee?
It's crazy talk.
Crazy.
So again, that's the main thing. And generally, when I look at sugars, that's kind of my rule of thumb: is just divide it by 4, just to figure out, okay, how much of this. Again, it's not always the worst kinds of sugars, but it's a good gauge.
Okay, very good. I always like to keep mine, if I'm looking at some kind of nutritional bar, which isn't always the healthiest thing, but sometimes I like to keep something in my purse for quick energy if I am not close to the house and haven't thought to bring a piece of fruit or something else. I always try and look at something that's 5 grams of sugar or less. Less is better.
And that's great, because most of those bars you're getting, it's coming from dried fruits or whatever, and it's not the same thing as the kind of stuff they're putting in a soft drink.
Which reminds me, I'm getting a shipment probably tomorrow of my favorite bars, which are called RX bars. And I get the coffee chocolate, which is delicious. They are like a Larabar, only much more tasty and not so dry. Delicious. They do have egg whites in them, so this guy doesn't eat them, but they are delicious and handy to keep in your purse. Okay, so let's talk about fats a little bit. We certainly, I'm sure everyone understands that trans fats are not good. And actually on the label, it will show you your grams of total fat, saturated fat, and then your trans fat. Trans fat you really do not want to be getting into. Saturated fat is not good. Any kind of hydrogenated oils or fats you want to stay away from. So it would be the mono what?
What are you talking about for the good fat? The
yes, monosaturated, of course, monosaturated. Okay, that would be the only kind of fat that you would, that's the kind you would want to aim toward. So why don't you talk about the ingredients, because I know you like looking at that even more than the nutrition.
To be real honest, the main thing that I'm interested is the ingredients, mainly because of the health decisions that I made for trying to curb some of the things that I was staving off, which was slow-growing prostate cancer and keeping that at bay. So that's the main thing I want to look at. A couple of key things to remember about ingredients. The fewer the better. If you've got an ingredient label that's just got 15 to 20 things listed in there, many of which you can't even pronounce and don't even recognize, just forget it. It's too much. I even wonder if it's real food. So try to limit it. The fewer the ingredients, the better. And the other rule of thumb is to remember that they have to list the ingredients by what is the most quantity in there. So the top 3 or 5 ingredients for me is the most important. The farther you get down the list, the lesser amount it's going to be. So for this example here, on this one, this is pretty good. She's got this organic or just eggplant and artichoke pasta sauce here.
It says no artificial ingredients.
Yeah, so it's hard to read this on here, but it's got
tomatoes,
tomatoes, and then it's got eggplant, artichoke hearts, carrot puree, garlic, onions, extra virgin olive oil, sea salt, and spices. The nice thing about all of this is I know what all those things are. They're all natural in their own form. There is nothing synthetic in this. And the majority at the very top are just all vegetables. The other thing that's not on this list, there's no sugars in there. I want to challenge you to go through just your pantry or when you're out shopping and just look at all the things that have sugar in maybe the top 3 ingredients. It may not be the top one, although there's a bunch of them that are. And oftentimes it won't say sugar, but another little thing here that I'm going to tell you as a favor to you, if you haven't declared war on the high fructose corn syrup, that stuff is killing America. And you don't need anything that's got it in there. And it is in so many things.
Because it's cheap.
Because it's cheap. And they are putting it in so many processed foods. You're going to see it in your ketchups. You're going to see it in cereals. You see it all over the place. So even just Google high fructose corn syrup and its synonyms, because there's a lot of other ways that it'll show up, and it's basically the same thing, and it'll be listed on there. But you don't need any of that. It's not good on your body. So there's plenty of other alternatives. One of my pet peeves is I just go in to buy peanut butter, and I just want peanut butter. It's just ground peanuts and maybe a little salt. And you're going to be hard-pressed to find, even in some of the better grocery stores, where they don't have sugar, cane sugar, palm oil, something else in there. And it's like, why do I need this? We have been searching for the spaghetti sauces for a long time that don't have sugar in it.
There's very few.
Not just high fructose corn syrup. Some will say organic, and it's organic cane sugar. It's like I just don't need any sugar in my spaghetti sauce. Right. So that's probably the biggest thing, is just look for the things that you recognize, understand the proportions, and just watch what's in those top 3, top 5 ingredients. Make sure that sugar isn't in that if you really are on a warfare against sugar.
Absolutely. And if you're looking at processed foods, you're going to find your list of ingredients is huge.
Oh my gosh.
Because of all the preservatives and stuff like that. And it's just nice to be the point where we're actually paying attention to some of that and making some better choices. Yes, we can't eliminate everything, but every step that you make in that direction is getting you better in your health goals. Yeah. And it's amazing. There's so many types of sicknesses that come on us, and this stuff happens because we have weak immune systems. And we have that because we are eating foods that are causing our bodies to lose that immunity toward everything.
I like to say eating is essential. We've got to eat. But what you eat is a choice. So don't just eat things accidentally. Be purposeful about it. Know what you're putting in your body. It's important. You want your health. You want to live a long time for your kids. You want to be active. And it all comes down to what you're eating.
And I know if you've been on here watching me at all, you know that I was not really aware of all this stuff, nor did I make really, really, really good choices for my kids when they were growing up. Oh, watch Forks Over Knives. Great, Lisa.
That's my favorite.
Great. I saw Kimberly on here today. That's awesome. So that's all we have for today. Probably won't be on tomorrow, but next week I will be on talking about household management. And I can't wait to interview you next Thursday.
Me?
About about our standards around the house and how over the years of our marriage those things were issues and how we
had issues?
navigated. We had issues.
I guess that'll be an interesting one. I've forgotten about the issues.
Okay, so you all have an awesome day. And today, make some good choices, some better choices toward your health and the health of your family. We'll see you next time.
Have a good day.